I wish for me some movie I call Bashon Kupasa by Odeneho TV. And your first time on Odeneho TV. I'm not sure subscribe to Odeneho TV. You will like over comment. Your comment section. We also have a click on the notification button for more news updates. Sisiano. The cases as Sisiano NDC for Enya El Court. It's very alarming. Yeah, because Sisiano, Yenyan and TSA NDC for another case. We know the case be also the ambulance saga also ewo man Ghana hasi. Na sa case we kra no ebusa for enu kwa chen ha. Then almost have another case or the High Court of London, which is the case of Asante Berko, or one of the appointees of former President John Dramani Mahama. But because yes, you heard me right. Almost have another case or the High Court of Ghana. Na sisiano Mr. Asante Berko. Yeah, the 6 offenses and abono. Na yesi wechia ademudie bribe ama officials be Ghana hase since 2015 to 2020. Na ebisafo that year 2020 no ene ye no ewo London. And then you know say ya cho wo de wa de bedi wase. And then this case na ewo sa na ebisafo enya asem keto. Asante Berko was lucky, you know. One of the appeals, because will be so Sisiano, the High Court of London, it's a haunt is a Ghana. It's criticizing the laws of Ghana, okay, but sometimes in IATB, you know what's good in and what comes out. It's no for more than coming home. You could see about the case of Mr. Asante Berko. Asante Berko, I see what you have bribes since 2015 to 2020. Maybe I said bribes, no chairman money get the yes. Me cry my curious than you. It come home. You could see some of the air concern where my Ghana. But men sell baby message or subscribe to Odeneho TV, but like it. Over comment your comment section. You so I click on the notification button for more news updates. When you could see Marcia.
Ghanaian officials from 2015 to 2016. Now, on Friday, thanks to the lawyers, were winning part of his appeal, but still, Asante Berko faces extradition to the United States. Asante Berko was charged with 6 offenses in New York in 2020 relating to his time working for Goldman Sachs. He appealed against the decision to extradite him at London's High Court last month after a judge sent his case to British ministers in 2023. Although the appellant was based in the UK at the time of the relevant conduct, the conspiracy was entirely international in nature. Asante Berko, now a former appointee under the John Dramani Mahama administration. Na okopie mu e London court. Di nyina ne say ya hwehwe no den e wa America brochima mu say watuatua ademude e de ama Ghana government officials between the years 2015 and 2016. 2015-2016 under the erstwhile John Mahama administration. Now, on the lawyers koye appeal. Now, appeal no koye no, oma we any part of the appeal. Oma we any part of the appeal. Ne sanity. Still, Asante Berko faces extradition to the United States to be prosecuted. Now, over the 6 offenses and the ball no, way back in 2020 in New York, related to a break akra or yejuma edema campaigner, your friend Goldman Sachs. Now, appeal no oye ewo the London's High Court. Now, court ni chiremu a omo relevant conduct ya omo eyeye no nyina no chese conspiracy in the whole bribery and corruption case no na international in nature. Now, Berko's lawyers said he could not be extradited in relation to 3 of the charges, which allege that he willfully failed to file a report of foreign bank accounts in the US, as the allegation was not a criminal offense in Britain. They also argued that Berko's alleged offending took place in Britain and in Ghana, meaning he should not stand trial in the United States. Judge Charles Bond ruled on Friday, the 7th of June, that Berko should not be extradited to face the 3 charges of failing to file reports of foreign bank accounts. The judge said Berko would otherwise be at risk of being convicted and imprisoned for conduct which would not amount to an offense in the United Kingdom. However, Bond rejected the rest of Berko's appeal, which bordered on 3 charges of money laundering, bribery and corruption, illicit trade of money, meaning he still faces extradition. Although the appellant was based in the UK at the time of the relevant conduct, the conspiracy, I believe, was entirely international in nature. The judge, Bond, ruled. 6 charges na de ebo no na one the lawyers ekosori mu 3 say boni bi wo ha wudi a na o yu ka bruchima mu a enye boni, but o tra de ko America bruchima mu a eye boni. 3 of the charges na judge ni a owo London High Court ya ono na ehwe asemi Charles Bond echire mu a those 3 of the charges ni de wagia tum enye boni ewo United Kingdom, but oko US a yebetumi a convict him. No, the other 3 of the charges here a border on 1, money laundering, 2, bribery and corruption, 3, illicit trade of money in the very, very relevant conduct. And the ye is Sami and Sanbai. Tell you, Obotugua, any ye. The judge will say, and now such charges me and say, the happy name to me amount to still, Asante Berko faces extradition to the United States to face these 3 charges. Judge Charles Bond also said that the U.S. securities regulator on Thursday officially charged Berko, a former employee at Goldman Sachs, who is the former head of the Thermal Oil Refinery, for arranging at least $2.5 million in bribes to be paid to Ghana government officials to gain approval for a client's power plant project in 2016. The U.S. Securities and Exchange Commission said Asante Berko arranged the bribes for a Turkish energy company to funnel the money to a Ghana-based intermediary, which then paid the local officials. Berko helped the Ghana-based intermediary pay more than $200,000 in bribes to various other government officials and personally paid more than $60,000 to members of the majority of Ghana's parliament and other government officials in 2016. The Security and Exchange Commission U.S. statement read, added that Berko took deliberate measures to prevent his employer from detecting the bribery scheme. The Ghana government officials, along with companies, are not named in Goldman Sachs documents, but are captured in court documents. From approximately 2015 through at least 2016, the relevant period. While employed at the subsidiary, Berko schemed to bribe various Ghanaian government officials so that a client of the subsidiary, a Turkish energy company, would win a contract, the power purchase agreement, to build and operate an electrical power plant in Ghana and sell the power to the Ghanaian government. The U.S. Security and Exchange Commission's complaint alleges that Asante Berko, a former executive of a foreign-based subsidiary of a U.S. bank holding company, arranged for his firm client, a Turkish energy company, to funnel at least $2.5 million to pay illicit bribes to Ghana government officials in order to gain their approval of an electrical power plant. As alleged in the Security and Exchange Commission's complaint, Berko orchestrated this scheme to bribe high-level Ghanaian government officials in pursuit of firm business and his own enrichment. Berko's misconduct was egregious, and individual accountability remains a key component to our crime enforcement efforts, said Charles King, Chief of the Security and Exchange Commission Enforcement Division. The firm's compliance personnel took appropriate steps to prevent the firm from participating in the transaction, and that is why the firm is not being charged. The Security and Exchange Commission's complaint, filed in the U.S. District Court for the Eastern District of New York, charges Berko with violating the anti-bribery provisions of the FCPA and federal securities laws. The SEC is seeking monetary penalties against Berko, among other charges which he can be convicted. The Security and Exchange Commission's case is being handled by Asita Obeyisekeri and Paul J. Block of the FCPA unit, and Kathleen Shields, Mark Albers, Marty Haiti, and George Riffison of the Boston Regional Office of the Security and Exchange Commission. Enti former Mahama appointee Asante Berko, according to court document, utia bribe edema high-ranking government officials then. Na the NDC was in power. John Dramani Mahama was the president. Bribe of $2.5 million. And an idea, London High Court Justice Charles Bon actually said 3 of the charges there na appeal no ayejuma, but the other 3 a border on illicit transfer of money, bribery and corruption, and after money laundering there omutwa monye. It is still obetumi face extradition to the United States to be charged. And the Security and Exchange Commission ewa America brichi be mu achechiri mu kwan ya ofa asutu ya $2.5 million at the bribe Ghana officials just to secure power plant project for the Turkish company. We said to another $200,000 in bribes to various government officials. To $60,000 in bribes. At the majority MPs in the Ghana Parliament. In 2016, the NDC na majority in Parliament. According to the court document, omuji 6